When creating or reading ERDs, we sometimes need to be able to understand different notations. It is like being bilingual. In your IT course up to so far, you have learned how to use the crow's foot notation when modeling ERDs. It is very important to notice that the REA business process level diagrams that we are going to create are also actually just ERDs. In crow's foot notation, when looking at the following relationship, for example, you can use the following symbols. For a minimum optional relationship, we use a 0. For a minimum compulsory relationship, we use a 1. For a maximum of 1, we use a 1. For a maximum of many, you can use one of two symbols, deciding on which side you are going to put it. It can be either this one or that one. We can now do the cardinalities as follows. For the business rule, a sale must belong to a customer. It is the minimum cardinality. Minimum cardinalities are on the inside, so it is a 1. When we say a sale can only belong to one customer, that will be your maximum participation cardinality. So a sale can only belong to one customer. For the participation cardinalities on the customer side, we can say a customer does not have to participate in a sale to exist in the database, so it is a minimum optional, so we add a 0. A customer can also make many sales or participate in many sales, so that means that the many will be on this side. And there we have the crow's foot notation. Notice that the cardinalities for sale are actually presented next to customer, and that the cardinalities for customer is actually presented next to sale. So we read the cardinalities away from the entity. For the CHEN notation, we use the following symbols. For the minimum optional, we still use a 0. For minimum compulsory, we still use a 1. For the maximum of 1, we still use a 1. But for the maximum of many, we use a many, a n. These symbols are presented in brackets, and your first entry will always be your minimum cardinality, and your second entry will always be your maximum cardinality. So in doing the cardinalities, if we start with number 1 again, a sale must belong to a customer. This is a compulsory, so sale must belong. Number 2, a sale can only belong to one customer, so that is the maximum cardinality, and it's a maximum of 1. A customer does not have to participate in sale to exist in the database. So for the customer, it is optional to participate in a sale. A customer can make many sales. So for the customer, it is a many participation, the N, which shows the many. The diamond between the two entities in the relationship is actually just a placeholder when we might need to create a bridging entity. Notice that the cardinalities, in this case, the cardinalities for sale is presented right next to sale, and the cardinalities for customer is presented right next to customer.